Howdy y'all, it's Chris with Show Up Fitness, favorite trainer of the belt buckle. Today we're going to be talking about how we program at Show Up Fitness for a bro or a bra, a hunk, a hunkette, whatever you want to call them. Before we do that, make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube. First week here in San Diego, we're excited, so if you want to become a trainer, all you got to do is show up. November, our next internship in San Diego. October is going to be Los Angeles. So let's talk about programming. This is for the general population. It's awesome working with athletes. I was talking about this in class today because as a strength coach, I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist, athletes come in, I'm going to beat the heck out of them in a way that is specific to their goals, but they're not going to give me backlash. Because if they do, I'm going to go to the head coach and say, hey, Johnson over here was screwing around, he didn't do the exercises, he's not going to be playing. His PT is going to be affected. But with clients, it's not like that. You tell a client you got to do this exercise, and you're militant and yelling and screaming, you may deter someone away. So that's where we have to play the game. And how we program here at Show Up Fitness is we take into consideration movement patterns, and then based on what you specifically want, but generally, I can separate our clients, and we have, sometimes between 50 to 75, sometimes more. I would say 99% of them can be broken up into this stereotypical bro, stereotypical bra category. So bros, what do we want? We want a nice chest, arms, abs. Bras, hunkettes, what do you girls want? You want that glute ham separation, you want bigger glutes, flat tummy, small arms. So you got to speak the same language too. Like if you're working with a guy and you say, we're going to get you super sexy looking. Generally, guys don't like hearing that. The worst thing you can ever tell me as a guy is, Chris, looks like you lost some weight. What? I get down on the ground and start doing some push-ups. Generally, we don't like to hear that. It's our ego, very, very small, we're Neanderthal. So you got to play the game. So with girls, you're going to get them to tone up, sleek, slender, sexy. For guys, get jacked, shredded, ripped. You can get into an argument all you want and say that's what's wrong with the industry. But you got to play the game. When you look at magazines today, if you go check out a magazine cover, that's the vernacular that you need to use for your sex. If you want to work primarily with guys, go get Men's Health, read T Nation, bodybuilding. That's generally how most guys are going to talk in the general population. You got to be a chameleon. But for girls, hers, Cosmo, it's like getting the playbook for the other team. Read that stuff and talk that same language. So let's start with a bro. Generally, I'm going to take my clients, we're training 3 times a week. Yes, you will need to adjust their programming if they're training Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, upper body and lower body. It's always based on their goals. This is just a general overview of how we will train a beginner who hasn't worked out in a long time, and it's a bro. Average male in the United States weighs 191 pounds. So let's picture this guy roughly 35, 40 years old, best shape 20 years ago. Here's my workout. After I have him sign the Part Q, obviously, and do an assessment, we're going to do a bench press. It's going to be our main core movement. We're going to do some curls and then some bicycle kicks. So I call these bottoms. So the first one is the core movement. That's going to be your horizontal pressing. And then the other 2 are accessory, curls and bicycles. Now the reason I don't do 2 multiple joint exercises back-to-back on that circuit is most guys lack with cardio. They're not that great. So when you do like a bench press and a chin-ups into some type of step-up or whatever you may choose, or even like a leg exercise, they're toast. And guys, we're idiots, and so we're never going to tell you that it's hard. We're just going to push through. Next thing you know, you get some glucose tablets because your client just passed out. So I like to do the bench press because they're familiar with it. Curls for girls. We want giant arms. We want to feel the burn. We're similar in that way. Girls want to feel the glutes, though. Guys want to feel in their arms. So I'm going to play that game, and we'll do some bicycle kicks. I'm going to throw a little curveball at my client. I like to do exercise they've done before and then add value implementing fit, frequency, intensity, time. So I'm going to have them go super slow, 5 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, we're on our back. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back for 5. And do like 2 or 3 reps of that. They're toast. And they're feeling it like they've never felt it before. We will do this 3 times. When we come back to the second bench, add weight. Curls, add weight, bicycles, maybe add a band or something. Remember, at Show Up, we always encourage our trainers to show a new exercise. We can do that by Many Fit. Be up to date with novelty, because clients think novelty is better. Think of like an iPhone. The newest iPhone 11 or 30, whatever we're on today, we think that's better than the iPhone 10 because it's newer. It doesn't apply to fitness, but that's what the general population of our clients think, so you gotta play that game. Last round, I'm gonna add some more weight on the bench press. Maybe try to get 10 or 12 reps. If my client gets 12, I'm gonna push them 3 more. That's the value in myself as the trainer. Take them out of their comfort zone. Spot at least one exercise out of all these. I'm gonna challenge you to do more, probably closer to 2 or 3. And then bicycles again. After that, we're gonna go to the next circuit. Bend over rows, which will be a horizontal row, pulling. It's gonna even out the bench press. So now we have a 1-to-1 ratio. Do some push-ups. I love doing push-ups with dudes because generally we don't do them. They're not cool. You don't go to the bar and tell people, I just did 75 push-ups. And you brag about how much you can bench press. That's what guys do because we're idiots. And so I like doing push-ups too because I can add a lot of value, slow it down, put a leg out there. Sometimes I even show off. How many push-ups can you do? You know, I can do 10, 15. Then do like a little plyo push-up, do a little clap. You're like, oh crap, I want to be able to do that. So that's where you can implement some strategies of being in better shape than your clients because they want to essentially look like you. Tricep extensions. So we're going to go to bis, let's go to tris. And we're going to add weights for the rows, which is our core movement. Another core movement with the push-ups. So now we're at 2-to-1 for pushing and pulling. Tricep extensions. The last group, what we're going to do, goblets, and it's going to be like a little larger circuit. The reason I put legs at the end, as I said, guys aren't the best with cardio. So if we're doing well and we have a little more in the tank, and I always ask my clients to communicate very, very clearly. How are we doing? This one workout is not going to get you in the best shape of your life. The next workout is going to be one step closer to that, but you got to communicate with me. If you don't have a lot in the tank, we're just going to do 1 or 2 exercises. But remember, one workout will not change your physique. And if they do have some left, because your clients want to sweat, they want to feel that burn, I'll do some goblets for 15 reps. I'll usually get your client's heart rate up there pretty high. One of the best exercises, in my opinion, to get a 6-pack. Crunches don't do shit. You're just going to feel that burn. Your heart rate won't get that elevated. But when you do something like a goblet, your heart rate's through the roof. Everyone has a 6-pack. You do, I do. It's a matter if you can see it or not. Do a close grip bench press. This little trick that I like to do, I like to go back into a bench press for triceps because triceps are a very large muscle. We don't realize it. In some studies out there, the triceps are almost bigger than the chest and the other upper body muscles. So it's a very, very large muscle. So let's get that one jacked up. But I go back to the bench press because guys, again, we're idiots. We think that once you do an exercise, you can't go back to it. So sometimes I'll throw bench press in there 3 different times. When we've been training for a while, maybe we'll do bench press for 3 sets here, bench press 3 sets here, 3 sets here. Because it's not about the exercise, it's about the acute variables and showing up regularly. So I just like to educate my clients on that one. Face pulls, to even out the bench pressing, and some carries. Most guys want some giant traps. So we find this at Shell Fitness to be a very complete overall full body workout for beginning clients. Again, you can't just do this with everyone. You will need to regress and progress based on their goals and how they're feeling. But this is our bro hunk workout. So let's transfer over to a girl. Bra hunkette. We want to get sleek and toned. You gotta imagine putting a girl through this workout. They're gonna freak out. Bench press, I'm gonna get giant. That's where you gotta play the game. Maybe do some push-ups instead. We will start with what their goal is. Generally, it's gonna be glutes. I always say we're gonna do the best exercise for your glutes, and your client's like, oh yay, squats. Actually, it's a hip thrust. So I'll teach them how to hip thrust. Have fun with it. It's a very sexual, kind of weird exercise. So I tell them the #1 rule when we hip thrust, never ever get eye contact. It makes it weird. They laugh. I stand to the side. I'm very professional because there's a lot of vulnerability coming into a session. Your clients are putting it out there into the universe that they need help, and that takes a lot. So be respectful and mindful of it. We'll do some push-ups next, and then we'll do bicycle kicks. So very similar to the guys with the accessory ab stuff. We call this fluff. We call this accessory corrective exercise. Cardio, spot reducing, whatever you want to call it, that's our B. You don't need to do that. As I said earlier, as a strength coach, I would never do B. I'm just going to do the 2 core movements because that's going to get you the results the fastest, but your clients got to play the game. Come back in, add some weight on the hip thrust, push-ups. If they can't do them, I'll put a band on there. Everyone can do a push-up, everyone can do a pull-up. I'm going to add that value, bicycle kicks as well. Third round, maybe you push against your client. Push your knees in so they have to externally rotate to engage their glutes more. Add that value. Do this for 3 rounds. Next, we're going to get the squats. So if your client can do a back squat, I'm going to do a back squat. Otherwise, I'm going to go to a goblet. In general, what I find, I ask my client, what would you like to use for the first round? 10, 15 reps. It's really, really light, so I like to add that value. Let them know they're a lot stronger than they are, and they're not going to get big and bulky. The main reason is testosterone. I have a lot more than you do. but we're not going to be doing specific exercises like we would with guys. I'm not going to be doing farmer's carries and face pull. We're going to do specific exercises for the glutes down here. So we're going to do squats, goblets, back, whenever you decide. Then do some pull-ups and do some rotating T's to get the arms. Pull-ups I love because I can spot my client and empower them that you are capable of doing a pull-up. Most of our female clients cannot. So we want to get them there. There's nothing cooler as a trainer when you watch your female clients do their first pull. They're like, holy shit, I can do that. Yes, we can do a lot more because you are going to get the best shape of your life. Rotating T, sagittal plane, horizontal reduction, transverse, come down in frontal. I like to do this one not for reps, for burn. When you get that burn, let me know. Last round, step ups and arms with curls. I don't like compound movements personally. I think it defeats the whole purpose of what we're trying to achieve, which is maximal tension or bang for your buck. But again, this is playing the game. This is going to get a lot of your girls to sweat. Band walks, you're going to get the isolation of your glutes, and I'm going to throw in some type of game. Guys, I would do it as well, but you kind of have to be that bro in the beginning, where it's like, that's not cool. So that's how you have to train the sex a little differently. For girls, maybe I'm going to do a wall sit into an RDL, and you're going to do 20 RDLs, or until I say a state. And I'll start naming capitals or countries. Get them thinking. Have fun with it. We seek fun out in the workouts. I think that is horseshit, in my opinion, because we don't need to have fun by doing cool exercises. We can have fun by challenging the mind. So I'm going to get my clients to think. And then maybe we do some holds. Maybe I get down there and do a slap with them. Make it fun. Show the value in yourself. So we have a hinge, we have a squat, we have a unilateral. You'll notice I don't have all that for a guy. I'm not saying it's not important, but generally guys don't do a lot of legs. So you need to distinguish between the two. And yes, you're going to have, once every blue moon, a girl that may want to do this, and that is fine. You need to individualize it. But generally what we find at Show Fitness with our general pop, bro workout, brow workout, the core, the programming that we do is a core movement, a core pattern, push, pull, hinge, squat, unilateral, carry. We will implement some breathing. We're starting to update it, maybe do some jumping in there. So he did a really cool one with the bridge. We're always learning, always evolving, and that's a great thing about kinesiology, movement, and fitness, is you should never be the smartest person in the room. Well, technically right now I am, because no one else is in here, but surround yourself by people who like to think big. So, I know you guys like this. Check out Belt Buckle Tuesday, Instagram, follow us, have a great day.